But then we'll just use the link.
Not live.
People leaning out or leaning in, I can't.
I don't think I can see. Here it is. One more noggin at the very end. There it is.
Magnificent.
Perfect.
All right, friends, let's give a big warm welcome to our Transformers podcasting panel. Podcasting roundtable.
Yeah, exactly. Chicago, how we all doing? That is way more enthusiasm than I was anticipating, because I don't know about you, it has been a long weekend, friends, but a fantastic TFCon. So to close out the festivities, we're the Podcaster Roundtable. We're a variety of different podcasters across different types and genres of Transformers media, toys, and whatevers. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to do open Q&A. You can ask questions. You can step up to the mic over there. And for the first, I think, 10 or 11 folks, I have swag bags with goodies from various podcasters, including Autopod, Decepticast, Two Mikes, Too Furious, and Toby Toys. So there's a couple things in there just to kind of incentivize you to ask some fun questions. We're going to keep it very casual. The time will probably go by much quicker than we're all anticipating, but we all have places to go and we want to go home. But thank you so much for hanging out with us this weekend and for this incredibly well-attended TFCon. My name is Mike. I will come back and introduce my show momentarily, but what I would like to do is let's start at this end, and if in the briefest, tightest nutshell possible, let's introduce ourselves and mention the show that we're at, and then we can talk about more about the stuff that we do as we go.
Cool.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Trish. I'm part of Swerve's Bar podcast and also was part of More Than Meets the Ear when we were a little bit more active. On Swerve Bar podcast, I go by Clickbait, and we do everything from comic reviews. We do some guest Q&As every once in a while. We do those once a month to every couple of months, and then we also have a Transformers D&D, which we actually recently did a Kickstarter for an entirely new homebrew system that is 5e compatible. And we didn't get a chance to put our stuff in the swag bags because we've been busy, but we do have some ribbons up here if anybody wants to come up and grab a ribbon. The QR code does work for our website, so you can have a badge decoration and an Insta link to our podcast. We also have some pins that we can add to your guys' swag bags. We just didn't get the chance to add them.
That's all right. Thank you.
And
always glad to kick it with you.
Hi, I'm Onyx. I help run the Swerve's Bar podcast. We review comics, like she says, and guests. I am the DM for the Transformers D&D podcast, and I basically just make the players suffer a little bit. It's fun. It's a good time. We have voice actors on there, like Frank Todaro and such like that. It's a blast.
we just had Jason Marnoka on as Pharma,
Oh, wow.
which
Cool.
was very surprising, and he kind of killed it. It was very Lucius Malfoy-esque.
Oh, yeah. It was very good.
It was very, I was terrified the entire time.
Nice.
Hi everyone, I'm Peter Chavez with TFYLP, Transformers for Your Listening Pleasure, and we do comic reviews, toy reviews, all the stuff you expect from a Transformers podcast.
Excellent. Hi, I'm Mike Seibert. I am the host of the Mike Seibert Radio Podcast and one half of Two Mikes, Too Furious animated Transformers, where we talked about Transformers animated one episode at a time. We've just recently finished season 3, and now we've gone on a deeper dive with interview segments with co-creator, writer, and story editor Marty Eisenberg. So it's been animated is back on the come up. I don't know if you've heard the good word of Transformers animated, but it's a good time to be a Transformers animated fan, so we're excited to be a part of that zeitgeist.
Hey, I'm Darryl. I go by Cybertronian Beast online, and I'm one of the hosts of the Transmissions podcast. Hey,
Yeah!
there he is, our listener. Hi. Yeah. So we've been podcasting for like 12 years now, and we have 2 shows a week that go up. Wednesdays is our toy focus show, and that's all the toy news and stuff that everyone's kind of into that week. And then our Friday show is our media news show, and that's our comics reviews and movie stuff, if that's happening, and any other garbity gook or whatever that's going on. But,
Esoterica.
yeah, so we've got one of the other hosts has us reviewing all of the Energon Universe stuff right now, which has me a little PO'd because that includes G.I. Joe, which I kind of hate. But anyway, we're doing all of the Energon Universe stuff, which, if you're into that right now, then, check us out to Fridays.
I'm Aaron, or Axsmith if you're an old person, back when that was the screen name, with WTF TFW podcast. Since you mentioned the date, I had to properly pull up and one up. Since 2008, we've been podcasting. We used to be a whole lot more frequent, and we're now more just talking about some of the things that we've gotten, listener question style things. The other thing that Vangelis and I are doing is we're starting to do what we're calling the news dive, where we've gone back to the earliest board page, like news front pages, until like 2005, 2006, 2007. Both of us were around and heavy in the fandom then, so talking about things. So it's been interesting doing that and seeing, everybody knew that the 2007 movie was going to be so G1, it'd blow your socks off. And so then, seeing people that came in way afterwards being like, yeah, why do so many of the olds hate the first movie? And you're like, well, you see, we were told by the producer forever it was going to be exactly G1. So it's been an interesting, retrospective look back at our fandom.
All right, since we're doing the date thing, I'm Diecast with Radio Free Cybertron. Brian Kilby, the founder, owner, CEO, started this podcast a mere 26 years ago, back in 1999. So it was not only it was not only the first Transformers podcast, it was the first toy podcast, I believe, ever. So it's funny that it's Transformers related for the first toy podcast that ever went out on podcasts. So
before it was even podcast, because iPods weren't out there.
Yeah, it was like
just
on Real
radio.
Player, and before they on MP3 and stuff like that. Before the word podcast was even around. So
You had to turn a crank to get a wave file.
Or if you were here for the last panel and Colin was talking about being old, we definitely feel that at our show.
And I'm Josh. I'm on More Than Meets the Ear. We talk about Transformers Cybertron, going episode by episode through the series.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to my other co-hosts. I'm the one who's making them watch it. All of y'all are talking about how long you've been going as a podcast. I can talk about how long it's been since we released an episode. It's been just over a year. But we did just put out a new one. What is today? Today is Sunday. Friday. However many days ago that was. But we'll be 2, 3. I'm too tired to math. But we're working our way through Transformers Cybertron. It is chaotic and delightfully fun, and there are way more accents than you would think.
Delightful. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. Before we get into open Q&A, I want to talk about this panel. Don't mind me if I get a little philosophical and esoteric here. I have a little kind of deep in the feels here because, one of the things that's special about podcasting is that it's so easy to get into, but everybody can start a podcast. It's harder to maintain one and to stick with it. And I look out in the crowd and there's, YouTubers and other content creators as well, and that is a grind. I totally admire our friends that are YouTubers, but there's something I don't know, kind of like weirdly DIY about podcasting. It's like you could just turn it on and you could talk. And part of the reason why we have such a large panel here is because there is such a large swath of Transformers podcasting. So I've always said there's always room at my table and there's always room for more podcasts. Transformers content creation, whether it be videos radios, podcasting, social media, whatever, it's all community. It's not competition. You know, I would love for you to listen to my shows, but more than that, I would love you to listen to everybody's shows or some other shows. Just listen to Transformers content and share it with your friends as the community grows. You know, we talk a lot about Transformers fandom and the communities, and it's about the friends that we made along the way, right? Absolutely. So, you know, like there are times when there are harder times and we're there for each other. And the thing about podcasting and radio and any kind of like audio format is it's a companion media, right? You listen to it on your commute. You listen to it while you're jogging or exercising or walking or whatever. And the bonds that we've created with not just each other, but our audience are important and real and sustainable. And the magic of TFCon here is that we get to put faces to names. Like I've seen people here that I've interacted with on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever that I've never actually seen their face before. And it's like, oh, that's what Dumb Jake looks like. All right. But yeah, no, I mean, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, just the strength of the community here. And we saw it with the record attendance here. So as you come up and ask us questions, you know, shoot the moon. You know, I don't know if you can stump us in trivia, but like, you know, esoteric philosophical questions. And if you want to ask about like the mechanics of podcasting or something, I'm sure we could talk about that as well. And I'm sure Diecast wants to talk about toys as well. But anybody have a opening salvo or statement before we open up the floor for Q&A?
I just want to jump in on the mechanics kind of podcasting and how you can get into like just maintaining it. I'd have been done and out of podcasting years ago if it wasn't for the group that I was in. They have kept me coming back to it week after week after week, and it's just we made a schedule of just saying, okay, well, it's this time of week, this is when we're going to kind of hang out and do this thing, and that's what it ended up being. It was just a schedule that just it was a weekly date that we always kept, and if one of us couldn't make it, that's fine. Life happens and throws you kind of, you know, things to do, but you know, it was Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. It's usually a free time, and we always got on the mic, and that was it. And we just kind of said, okay, well, this is going to be our time, and then we just kept hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. But if I was doing it by myself, I'd have been gone. I would have been done years ago. There was no way I would have motivated myself to do it. But the other guys, they all kept me honest. They all kept me coming back to it. And that's really, if you're going to start something, I empower everybody to start something. But it's so much easier if you're doing it with a friend or multiple friends, because they're trusting you and they're feeling, you know, empowered by you to be there, and you are the same, and everybody's just kind of, you're in this cycle together, and you're gonna make each other happy being in this, you know, in the show together. So yeah, make stuff if you want to make stuff. Don't if you don't. But yeah, it's easier with people.
And you go from being strangers to like now the group that I podcast with is like we hang out regularly. We see each other at every TFCon. You know, we hang out online a lot of nights. So you go from being strangers like Josh and this one, Onyx, reached out to me on Twitter, complete strangers, and now I'm very close friends with both of them, and it's really cool to create these bonds online with real people that you get to make real connections with.
And I don't know about the rest of everybody, but I actually honestly hate all these people.
You know what?
I think that's correct.
It's
Yeah, I think
mutual,
that's
Darryl.
correct.
It's
Yeah.
mutual.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a lot of fun, like getting to know everybody. It makes it easier, like D&D side of things, but then I know what you're afraid of. But it's super fun because I add like sound effects and music, and
That's
it's
sinister.
a blast.
That's sinister.
Love it. All right, so first person to step to the mic gets a swag bag. And I think if my math is correct, like I'm pretty sure half of you are leaving with swag bags, but knock yourself out. Please, welcome. Hi.
That works.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Robert, I'm calling from Chicago.
Welcome, Robert. What's your question?
Never have guessed.
I love that we're just doing this.
Yeah.
Out of all the things I assume you all thought over the weekend, any buyer's remorse, like something that you thought was going to be good just wasn't?
We're going there
I
already.
was gonna say, I mean, diecast.
I have one. $12 coffee.
Okay, yeah.
I have a buyer from work for that. That was too much.
Okay, let's narrow it down
The
to
food I had to wait for
toys.
2 hours for, not 30 minutes.
I was gonna say, I'm from Seattle. You got $12 coffee? Wow, that's great. It's cheap. What a bargain.
I'm from California. It's worse.
By Grandpa's Hammer, what a savings.
I would say, there's no purchase I regret because I contemplate a lot before I actually hand them the cash or the card. Just the amount when I'm packing it up is like, wow, I think I may have bought a little bit too much, but there's no like one thing that I bought the whole weekend that I regret.
You think I've had time to touch any of the toys I bought this
Right.
weekend?
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
I like what I buy and I buy what I like.
What does the Snickers commercial say? No regrets?
Yes.
No regrets.
I thought it was just not you when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which also facts for many of us this weekend.
I will throw in a little bonus for you, since I thought your question was going to be, is there like one purchase that got you really excited this weekend? And I bought a Calvin Johnson Megatron that had a football and everything.
Oh my God.
And I remember covering the news a couple years ago, and I didn't know how to get the figure. I don't know how it was ever produced or distributed or anything. And I walk by and I see it on a table, and I was able to purchase it. And it's something that I never thought I would have, but I knew about it. So that was just a really great purchase, and it was a lot cheaper than some of the other stuff I purchased, but it's going to have a special place in my collection because of that.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for your question. Feel free and grab a swag bag.
And here, take a ribbon.
Oh yeah, there you go. And take a ribbon. Sticker. Hello. What's your name and where are you from?
Yeah, go for it.
TFW name.
My arms are short.
Fandom name. Yeah. You don't want to dox yourself.
Go by Star Saber 1989 on TFW.
Cool.
What made you want to start podcasting?
Oh, that's a great question. Who wants to start?
I was solicited.
So the question was, what made us want to start podcasting? In my case, it was just sort of listening to other podcasts, and in particular, Autopod Decepticast was doing their minute-by-minute review of the '86 movie, and I thought, that's a cool concept. What if we translate that to a TV series and go episode by episode? Which Autopod Decepticast later did with G1, and I think they moved into Beast Wars from there. And so I decided, I like Transformers Cybertron. Let me find some gullible little victims and make them watch it with me. And yeah, that's how that happened.
I was on my third read-through of the IDW comics, and I was really getting my friends into it, and I was like, let's do it. And he was reading through it, and I was like, oh, he was bringing up some points that were like interesting, different perspectives, because he grew up in a different situation, and I thought that was really interesting. So he was like, oh, maybe we should start a podcast. And I was like, I got this other friend who also hasn't read these comics. So then we started a comics, and that was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah, I started, WTF at TFW was in that, I won't necessarily say first wave, but that when podcasting really kind of became more of a to the people type of thing, and there was a call out on TFW of, I think at the time it started out with just the moderators at the time, because it was all people that like we knew would be really regular, and I really wanted to do it. I feel like my design side ideas of stuff are a fun, different way to look at toys other than just like what was the comics type of things.
Yeah, Sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead. Your story's going to be better than mine, I'm sure.
I started watching Radio Free Cybertron, 15 years ago, I guess, maybe longer. I didn't know there was other Transformers fans out there. I was a G1 fan that it was something I grew up with when I was a kid, and I loved it, and I collected here and there, but I had no exposure to any other fans out there. So it's similar, like people will come to the con for the first time and they're like, wow, there's other Transformers fans out here. So I was very eager to help out with the show any way I could. So I started, doing a hangout when Google Hangout was a thing after the show for similar fans that were excited about everything that didn't get to be on the show. And eventually I merged over to the show. But it was really like these guys say, it's a sense of other people that share your interests and just community and family, really. Like a lot of the people in this community I consider friends and family. So it's something, and for me, it also helped me with my speaking skills. I wasn't the best, and I still don't claim to be the best, but I was a lot worse before I got on the podcast, and it helps me in my professional life too, I think. And I give my hats off to Brian. He does the editing and the posting of the show and everything. So for him to do that much work every week, it is a lot of work. I was doing reviews for a while on YouTube under RFC Reviews, and you can see my old reviews up there, but life kind of got busy, and I can't say I'm done reviewing, but I'm not an active reviewer. I'll still do, a figure here and there if I can. But it's a lot of work to produce and post and edit and all that stuff. So you have to be really committed if you want to do it. Or maybe pick something small, like these guys said, like about maybe you're going to plan a 10 episode thing. Yeah. And you may not want to plan a podcast that's going to go on for 15, 20 years. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Going back to if you want a podcast and just why I started.
And Diecast, to tack onto that, that's the reason why I was interested in tackling Transformers Animated, because I saw the number of episodes. I'm like, 47 episodes, I can deal with that, as opposed to like 56 episodes in season 2 of G1 alone. So with like a lower barrier. So yeah, like if you want to find like a mini series or even just like particular episodes or something, it doesn't have to be like a huge commitment. Since I grabbed the talking stick from you, I guess I'll tell my story. I was a DJ at a college radio station playing Today's Rock on 89.9 KGRG FM out of Green River College in Auburn, Washington. And then when I transitioned into podcasting, and I was just like talking about music and the bands and the community and all of that, but then when I started producing podcast material, I started discovering podcasts, and like Josh, like a couple of rest of us, found a show called Autopod Decepticast that was talking about a minute-by-minute breakdown of Transformers the movie. Transformers the movie happens to be my favorite movie of all time, which I thought was unique to me. I didn't know that other people liked that movie until I started interacting with the fandom in 2018. That was really embarrassing. I'm like, oh, you're not special. Sorry. But anyway, I just started interacting with Transformers fandom at large, and now I'm part of this community. And that's my story.
And the other thing that's great about that, a podcast like that goes over, episodes like Autopod Decepticast did with the 1986 movie, it's evergreen. So if you're just doing news, most people are only going to listen to your show a week after you produce it. But something like that, I can go back anytime and listen to Autopod Decepticast 1986, podcast run.
Yeah. Absolutely. My story is very simple. Jeremy, one of the other co-hosts, put out a request on Reddit And I answered. I'm like, yeah, I can do it.
Gondor calls for aid.
It turns out that I was the only one of the ones that answered that knew anything about toys. So the other 3 that answered were all comic book guys. So I became the specialist, which was not the best idea, but yeah, it ended up being my thing. And then so then here we are.
I'm sure there's a worse specialist out there, but you'd have to find them.
Yeah.
Did you say they found you? You found them on Craigslist?
It's Grinder.
Whoa.
It's getting spicy.
That's the Podcasters Roundtable After Dark, okay? We
There
have to
it
wait
is.
on that.
There it is. Did we get everybody?
I think that was about everybody.
All right, very cool. Thank you so much for your question. Feel free and help yourself to a swag bag.
And a ribbon, because they're not in the swag bag.
And a ribbon and a QR code. How's it going?
Hi. Hope y'all had a good con.
Definitely.
So my name is Tack. I'm calling from Alabama, and I wanted to ask for the table. Do you have a dream guest that you would love to have in your podcast? They could be alive or dead.
Orson Welles.
Yeah, that's good. Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the voice. That's the thing. That voice was awesome.
I know TFW, we used to get lucky at BotCons and convince, voice actors or whatever to come up to do interviews. It's been a long time since we've done that, but me liking the toy design stuff, like having Aaron Archer and Eric Siebenahler and convincing them not to just be zany weirdos for half hour or so for an interview would be pretty fun.
On the Orson Welles front, a few years ago, I had the opportunity to talk with Maurice LaMarche at a con, not Transformers, just a regular con, and back in the Pinky and the Brain days, when he was doing the Brain, he would also voice a very toony version of of Orson Welles. And I asked him, I said, could you actually serious that up and actually make it like a real impression of Orson Welles? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure I could. Yeah. And so the voice is there. Like if they wanted to bring back an Orson Welles type voice for a Unicron, they could totally do it. And he would be able to do it.
I think Maurice LaMarche did the Orson Welles voiceover in, what was that movie with Johnny Depp with Plan 9?
Oh.
Sorry.
What?
Yeah, the Tim Burton movie. You guys know what movie we're talking about. Edward. Yeah.
Did he do it? Okay.
He did the dub on that. Yeah.
Nice. So
he can serious it up if he wants to.
Yeah. So that voice is still around if they want to grab it.
I'm kind of, for selfish reasons, I covered a lot of the Hasbro press events for New York Comic Con, Toy Fair, that sort of stuff for our Radio Free Cybertron. And I got to talk with John Warden, who was design manager, product manager. He had 15 different titles while he was at Hasbro, but he's no longer with Hasbro. So he's with the Loyal Subjects, which is doing Mask, which is that's right up my alley too. And he would be one person that I would love to get on to pick his brain about questions I had when I was covering press and he was the manager, because he would always give little hints. And I think the HasLab Unicron was actually supposed to be at the end of the Titan Returns, Power of the Primes era. That was supposed to be the big Titan. There were hints at that, and I can't say 100% that that's true, but that's how I feel, and that's one question I would love to ask him. I think they tried to design it in a Titan price point, and it didn't work, and that's why they had to make it a HasLab. Because if you see,
you have to wait for the non-disclosure agreement time to run out of whatever his clock is.
Exactly, and he has to be very careful because now he's working for a company that's licensed by Hasbro. So, I still don't know what he could say, but I would love to have an honest conversation with him.
To be a guest here
about that stuff. Yeah.
We've had the opportunity to interview quite a few voice actors at this point on Swerve's Bar, and each one is always so unique. We've had Greg Berger, David Kay, Frank Todaro, Jason Marnoka, Travis Arts, a few other people, and each one is so unique in hearing how each different voice actor got into Transformers, and either they were a fan from the beginning or they became a fan as they did the show, and then they came to a convention for the first time and they're like, whoa, this has such an intricate fan base and there's so much going on here. And like I've worked with a few other voice actors at other shows, this show, and I've always really enjoyed interacting with Frank Welker, and I think he'd be really fun. He doesn't do a lot of podcasts just because he's so busy all the time, but he would be really fun to have on just because he's so dynamic and he's always doing things all the time. You talk to the guy for 30 seconds and he's done 6 impressions. And so it's always just so dynamic to be around him and to interact with him. But I love all the voice actors and all this artists and everybody we've ever had the chance to interview. They're all so different.
Tack, you know my answer already. We started reviewing Transformers Animated 2 years after Derek passed away. And I know that he was, from what all accounts, a lovely person, loved the fans, and was so interactive and so accessible and so available. Like, we've had so many folks on our show talking about all these wonderful interactions they had with Derek on social media or in other spaces. And so there's a gap, I guess, in our show that will never quite be filled, because like we've talked to Marty Eisenberg, we're going to talk to Eric Siebenahler at some point, and I would really love the opportunity to talk to Jarrett J. Wyatt about Transformers Animated. So that's my answer.
For me, I think. Did I cut someone off? Okay. For me, I think just because Transformers Cybertron is so centric to what we talk about, and this almost feels very plausible. I would love to get Michael Dobson on. He's been a wonderful person to interact with at these conventions. He's very enthusiastic about his experience playing Starscream, and Starscream's role in that show is particularly good, and I'm really looking forward to reaching those episodes, and I'd love to hear his take on some of them. And on a secondary point, Gary Chalk, solely because our podcast intro is us riffing on the Cybertron intro, and I'd love to hear him read it for us.
That's awesome. Excellent question. Thank you so much. Please help yourself to a swag bag.
And some ribbons.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm from St. Louis, and I'm actually one of your Patreon members over at the Swerve.
Oh, hi, thank you.
So my question is...
You should get 2 ribbons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my question for you guys is, how did you start doing Transformers with D&D?
Oh boy. So when I was in college, I'd never played D&D before, and a friend of mine got me into it, and I was like, oh, this is fun. But you know what would make it more fun? If we did Transformers with it. So then I began this really long spiral that took a long time because I was in college and writing my own little like homebrew book, and it took like years, and I finally pitched it to you guys. I was like, would you guys like to do a podcast? Because I've been listening around. I was like, I know there's lots of D&D podcasts, but I want to do something slightly more. I want to add like music, I want to add sound effects, voice acting, and like voice work and stuff like that, so like it sounds interactive. And so we implemented that, and then through the couple seasons we've had, each season being its own story, different characters, so you can jump in wherever you want. We edited the book. We made changes, like, oh, that one, no one uses that ability. We're going to change it so it's more useful. We want to use alt modes more, so we need to make it so there's more alt mode beneficial mode. Like, cause if you turn into a boat, what are you going to do? So we got to make sure the boat is useful in some other scenario. And like, where was I going with this?
I don't know, but I was hoping you were going to get there quickly.
So we've continued to develop it throughout the years, and actually this past year we were able to do a Kickstarter, and we've completely finished the book. It's 5e compatible that we have developed, and we've continued to do this, and it's become this whole big fun project that we're 4 seasons deep into D&D, and we're being terrorized every session by our lovely DM here, and it's been so much fun to incorporate other members of the community, whether it be fans. We've had some voice actors, some artists join the show, and it really just started as us being nerds who love to play D&D, and then we kind of incorporated Transformers into it.
Cool.
My co-hosts who aren't here would be beating me over the head if I didn't mention that they do a show called Empire of Rust that I'm not part of. There you go.
That's your fan.
He's glad that you're not part of it.
I am not part of it. Yeah. So apparently it's good. I'm not part of it at all. But it is. It's based on the StarCraft system, I think. So yeah, I'm not D&D related. I don't know anything about it. But it's been going on for a very long time. And yeah, I guess it's free. It's also free, but you can check it out as well.
And clearly nobody playing with the official Renegade system.
Well, and to our perspective earlier about community, it's like listen to their show and their show. You're going to get different experiences. Taste the rainbow.
Yeah.
Excellent question. Thank you so much. Don't forget to grab ribbons and a swag bag. And friends, it looks like we got about 10 minutes left. I think we can get through all of our questions. If the wind is at our backs, let us proceed. Hello.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Well,
my husband and I started doing podcasting this year.
Right on.
So,
congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Thank you. So something that I've been, because I'm not like the super fan, like I'm just the supportive spouse. So I've been using AI a lot for our podcast and ask questions. So I'm just curious, like, do any of you use AI or is it just all in your head? Like, are you using that at all for anything? Even show descriptions, like?
We don't use AI. We use a lot of TFWiki for our stuff. We make sure to cite it in the podcast. All of our questions are developed by us because we're a couple people. Sometimes we use different perspectives, but we don't use AI for anything and especially for art or anything promoting our podcast, we commission our art for our podcast and everything.
I poked around in it, but I don't use any of it because I'm a software engineer. I have to be aware of these things.
Yeah, and I'm big on grammar and formatting, so it bugs me when it comes back not perfect, so I just do it myself.
Yeah, I think TFWiki is kind of your best resource there. I wouldn't trust most of the AIs because I don't know if it would ingest from that. Because it sounds like you're using it more for like research purposes.
It's more for like creating thoughtful questions, and I mean a lot of the questions can be garbage, right? Like,
right. Sure.
Interviewing somebody, like even if it generates 10 questions that are bad, but like one that's good, like that's kind of where I'm digging into it. But it doesn't sound like anybody's using AI for.
Well, at risk of losing friends, I view some of these AI tools as a starting point, not an end point.
Exactly.
So, like, if you need some brainstorming to at least, so if you ask for like, give me 10 questions to ask somebody that's in Transformers, you could take that and like 5 of them might be trash, but then that will just get your thought process going to create your own things. So it's, we could probably spend another series of hours and hours and hours discussing the ethics of use of different types of AIs, but the reality is whether we like the tools or not, this is becoming more and more a part of our landscape. And to your point also, like, at what point are you using chatbots or chat AIs to make scripts for reading? And then at what point are you using that same AI or a different AI to make voices? I mean, at what point does it become literally a machine? I don't think we're there yet, but I think with each incremental bit of technology, there is certainly a risk there. But I think I still kind of stand by my perspective. It's like it's a good starting point, just not necessarily a good end point.
Yeah, it's not, just to interject as a software, there's no such thing as AI. There's machine learning and fast data analytics. Just people like using business words like AI, it's not actual there. So it's derivative works, so it's never original stuff. So it's coming from somewhere else. So just be mindful of those kind of things.
I think for us, we're all just old people. Aren't we? And we just forget that it's there. So when we go to make a show doc, we write original intros for everything, and we could probably use it, but it's late. Like I said, we start at 9 p.m. and we're like, let's just write something, and we just write it really quickly and we're done, right? Usually with interviews, we just pull up the person's IMDb or something like that, and we'll just be like, what were they in? Did I watch any of that? Okay, great, let's go. I usually don't think about doing anything with AI. Because we're so closely connected with artists and stuff like that, even considering something AI art-wise is forbidden, right?
Yeah.
So we don't even think about something like that. On a quick side note, I love the fact that you're a husband-wife team. That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
We've on our show we're three husbands, and we've joked about the April Fool's show of having all three of our wives do the show and be like, what the hell are we doing here, right? Because I think only 2 of the wives have actually met once, and they wouldn't know what the hell they're talking about. It would just be hilarious. So, yeah, but I applaud you for getting started and tackling this thing. It's great.
And on developing thoughtful questions, like when we do interviews, a lot of things that we like to keep in mind when we're developing our questions is, if I was talking about something I was passionate about, what would I want to talk about, or what would I want to be asked? And when we're developing questions for like reviews, it's like, put yourself in the place of the consumer. What would I want to hear if I was trying to listen to a video on this subject? What would I want to hear? What would I be like, oh, they're talking about this again? So that's kind of how we kind of frame it when we're developing questions, is what would I want to be asked if I was the person talking about something I'm passionate about, or what would I want to hear if I'm the consumer?
Thank you. Thank you. Did you happen to name drop your podcast?
You did not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, please, because again, we're all community, and I want to listen actually, and to get oh, please, yeah.
But so just it's not for kids. So I'm just gonna say that.
You think we do content for kids?
Hey, we do. It's friends.
It's Corrupted Collectibles.
Okay.
And our podcast, I'm not gonna say it. So no, I'm not gonna say it because there's a kid. So we're not.
I know what. Yeah, my friends at Autopod Decepticast were telling me about your show, and I will be in touch. The other thing I would like to say is, like, with regards to like knowing stuff, don't be afraid to be wrong. Like podcasting is messy. Conversations are messy, and I think so. And it gives audience interaction. And obviously, brevity is not my first best strength. So I think in the last 4 minutes here, I think we got time for you guys. Let's go, Dumb Jake.
I'll hurry up. Yeah. Just want to shout out WTF at TFW, because I used to listen to that. I'm listening to old episodes of them talking about toys before they came out and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. Just listening to it from a historical standpoint.
Yeah.
But I guess my question's for Mike, because he's a fellow Transformers animated fanatic. What season 4 concept would you have been most excited to see if it had happened?
Well, one of them has already happened. I have a copy of Bumble Prime, and it will tear your damn heart out.
I haven't read it yet. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no spoilers, but man, it is heart wrenching in some of those best season 3 kind of ways. Like think Transwarp, that level of heartache there. So I guess if I had to pick a second. Oh man, I love Marauder Megatron, but I hate to be a basic IPA drinker, but I'll just say Shattered Glass.
Let's go.
Shattered Glass. I agree. Yeah. I agree with Shattered Glass.
Yeah.
100%.
We need more Shattered Glass content.
We do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
and check out Dumb Jake on YouTube.
I would just bring Prowl back. I mean, he needs to.
Yeah. I want animated Devastator, just to
More characters. Bring more characters.
Well, and which one too? There's a couple different like competing concepts. Bulkhead may or may not be part of it. Dirt Boss may or may not be the head. Hook may or may not be a pirate. Marty dropped that on our show once because he created just all of them. Yeah, exactly.
Combiner ideas.
There you go.
Keep stacking them.
I love it. Yes, sir.
Hey guys, I'm JCC2224. I rode up with Dumb Jake. I've absolutely loved this convention. Mike, thank you for the water. Josh, thank you for the tip on Universal Studios EVAC. My question for you guys, just to round everything off, what was your most special moment of TFCon Chicago 2025?
Oh wow.
Ooh, that is a heck of a last question.
Could be like a
So
fine,
I've
could be
got a good answer here. The TFW 2005 party. There were a lot. Oh, yeah, it was sweaty. It was.
That's an understatement.
I mean, I've been on TFW 2005 since like 2001, so it was really cool getting to like have the realization that board that I've been a part of has been around for that long, and seeing a bunch of friends that for me anymore, shows like TFCon isn't necessarily about the room that's on the other side of that wall with all the toys. There's a bunch of cool toys out there. I didn't buy any of them. I bought some Diecast reboot because I've delved into that rabbit hole. But getting to see all of the friends that are people that are, you know, more akin to family anymore, and this guy, and getting to spend time with them, and, you know, getting a meal or playing, you know, down in the TCG room, spending, you know, time like that is real in-person time that you don't, you know, I can order anything in there online basically.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just want to say very conveniently, Vangelis is the one that's also gotten me into Diecast Reboot. He's been enabling me a bit on that, so definitely feel that.
I managed to get a last-minute grab in the dealer room, so.
Nice. Yeah, I go to a lot of conventions. I live in Southern California, so they're very easily accessible to me. I keep coming back to TFCon over and over and over again. The merch is the same everywhere. Like the same merch, the same bots. You can get them. There's some here that you can only get at TFCon, but for the most part, the merch is everywhere. I keep coming back for the people. Whether it's new friends that I get to make each weekend, every show I make new friends, whether it's seeing old friends, whether it's seeing some of the staff members or the voice actors who have become very, very dear friends over the years. I keep coming back for the people, and every year it is the people that make this show, make the highlight of my weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bouncing off of that one, for me, you asked for a specific highlight moment. I spoke to Charlie Adler at his table several times over the weekend, and at one point, this was after the script reading, he practically bullied me, saying that I needed to make a voiceover demo, and not only like aggressively supportive, but also then followed it up with giving me pointers on exactly how to format it, handed me a list of agencies to look into in terms of listening to other demos that would give me good examples to work it off of. And this is something I've been putting off for literally years now, developing myself as a voice actor, because I am an actor, I do a lot of stage work, but I also have had a sound booth set up in my basement for years now that I've not really used for anything, apart from the podcasting, of course.
I was going to say podcast? A sound booth, you're not.
But the way he approached it and the way he was so supportive, but also so almost shoving it down my throat in the best way, gave me that motivation to say, no, actually, I need to kick myself in the butt and actually do this thing because he's right. So that was a wonderful and also slightly threatening experience for me.
Yeah, I'm with pretty much everyone else on here. It's the seeing the friends and that I only see at conventions like this, meeting more fans every time I go to a convention, people knowing my name, you know, that's the best part about going to a convention for me.
For me, I just I spent the weekend with Alex Milne helping out at his table, and I didn't really do a lot for myself, but it was really nice to see the people come up and express their appreciation for his work, and it really wasn't anything to do with me at all. I just kind of sat there and was looking at all these people that had come from all over the place. And one lady had come from somebody had come from Australia, somebody had come from Qatar.
We had someone coming from Iceland.
We saw
from
Sweden from Colin's panel.
Yeah.
So people had come from everywhere for this convention, and some of them were at Alex's booth over the weekend, and it was absolutely incredible to see them there, and just I would never travel that far for a convention, and realize that these people were such humongous fans of Alex's stuff, and then I I don't know. I take his friendship for granted, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm stuck in a car with him for like 10 hours tomorrow, and I'm gonna really be done with him, I think, at the end of it. So, but these people were flying for 10 hours to get here, and I'm trying to put it all in perspective, but. Yeah, that was kind of it. I also had a really nice conversation with Charlie yesterday. He's a great guy to talk to. It was just a really fun weekend. I liked seeing everybody again. I really only get to see them once or twice a year, and yeah, it's really about the people. Somebody like myself who's been in this fandom for a long time, we've bought a lot of stuff. Right, we own a lot of things, but the things we don't get to kind of appreciate are the people that we see once or twice a year, and that's really what it's about.
Charles can't buy my friendship.
Obviously, ditto to everything all of my friends have been saying. All of the handshakes, all of the hugs, all of the friendship, all of the matching faces with names, the fandom. But one thing in particular, as you could see, I am masquerading as Human Error Optimus from Transformers Animated, and I've never done cosplay at a convention before, and I was terrified. I'm like, oh no, I don't got the right paint, this, that, and the other thing. Everybody is so nice. Like, everybody's been like so nice and so supportive. Everybody's like, I love your jacket. I love Animated Optimus. It's like, and I didn't expect that level of encouragement and enthusiasm and support. So I know we're doing podcasting, but if you've ever had a passing interest in wanting to throw on a red jacket, throw some extra gel in your hair, to even do some like light cosplay, do it, because it's fun, and this community is so supportive of that. Like, I had people telling me to like enter the cosplay contest. I'm like, with like actual like rig builders and stuff. Are you kidding me? I put some spray paint on a jacket, but
do it.
Maybe next time. Did you guys go already?
Yeah, I did.
I just echo everyone, yeah.
Okay.
Mine was seeing you, Mike.
Yeah.
My favorite part was seeing you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Have you had a good time this weekend? 100%. Well, thank you so much for spending time hanging out with us and actually spending the remainder of your time after the show floor is long gone and people are looking to tear down screens and stuff. Can we do one thing together before we all leave? I usually do this at a bar with our friends, but the convention is long over. Like, they're about to throw us out here. You got something on your wrist, right? Would you like to do the ceremonial ripping of the wristband? Because, my friends, TFCon is over. But thank you so much for spending your time with us. We have been the podcast Roundtable. We'll be around and all that other stuff. Hang out, ask questions. And if you did not get a swag bag, if there's some left, please jump up and grab one.
Please, everyone come grab a ribbon. I have so many. Please
Thank
take
you so
them from
much.
me.
We'll see you in LA, we'll see you in Toronto, and we will see you in Orlando in 2026. Thank you, travel safe, and of course, make good choices.
I'm excited to
That's
listen.
all I want.
Or don't get caught.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yes.
Correct.
I'm both curious and
Dirty is this show?
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.